Okay. Hey, I'm Kit,
And I'm Cade,
and we're real people.
doing real reviews.
And we are going to review something that's out in theaters right now. And we watched it very recently. And it's called
Final Destination Bloodlines.
Oh, which was the sixth.
Sixth, yeah.
And there was a big gap. 13 years since the last one.
Something like that, yeah.
And so we went and saw it at our local VIP Cineplex, which is in the University District, University app
Yeah.
here in Calgary, Alberta. It was awesome. They have a very cool setup there, and they treat us really well. And we brought some people with us to go and watch it. Anticipated. I feel like anybody who has been following the Final Destination series has some type of personal attachment or trauma and
Yes.
has existed. The marketing team was amazing on this movie. They literally had logging trucks that had like coming soon, like on the side of it. And they did
Yes.
amazing job at like, saying that this movie was out. I love when companies are creative on talking about a movie and making things happen. And I think that lots of us, yeah, have been affected by this movie series. So, for those of you who've never watched the movie series, do you want to describe kind of the premise, and then we can talk about storyline from there?
Well, you can go ahead and get started.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah.
I mean, since I'm already
Yeah.
on a roll. I'm already kind of doing the things. Um, the series is about the concept around if you if you miss death, or you have a near death experience, or you should have passed away because you were in a plane crash or this happened, that happened, and you're somebody who survived. That death will come and get you in creative ways, and so throughout the series, you find characters that are tied to each other. Maybe they're through bloodlines, like this movie, where it's like this family did well and their kids are okay, but now their kids' aren't, or they were a friend who should have been on that trip, but they said no, and now death is coming to get them because they were supposed to pass away on that plane crash or whatever it might have been. And so the whole series is kind of that way. And then people start to notice, kind of like an algorithm, the pieces that go together that might show that like death is trying to get them. And so with this series, it was based around the family that was a part of the original. Um, yeah, the original kind of family that didn't pass away when they should have, and now it's kind of filtered back through. And it starts with this kind of reoccurring dream from the 50s,
Yeah.
50s, of this woman getting proposed to on this beautiful brand new like tower that was built in their little town, and she, for whatever reason, has a little premonition something's going to go wrong. She gets everybody to leave. They shut it down. They realize, yes, it wasn't structurally sound. Everybody that was a part of that party, the opening night party, so hundreds of people, all got out safely, and it was all because of her premonition. And even though people kind of were like, "Okay, crazy person," they still were like, "What's happening?" That like maybe something is and they noticed a little crack in like the glass flooring. That was enough, and she, because she realized that like that was really crazy and death is kind of everywhere. She starts to isolate herself because she starts noticing these little algorithms of death coming after her. And then she would followed through from the 50s till current, all of these areas where even as she had a family and as she had children, that death was coming after all of the people that were part of this party. And so she would follow the obituaries and how it happened and why. And she created a timeline. She started kind of creating a book, isolates herself in the woods, separates from her family because she thinks it'll be safer, and then that carries through to like the mom becomes the same way, separates herself from her family so that her kids can survive. And so we show this daughter who's in college, she's starting to have these dreams or premonitions of something going wrong. And it's like kind of coming back to this area. She goes home to ask questions about it. They're like, "Oh yeah, well, your grandmother was a part of this crazy thing." And maybe, you're mentioning her name, you're mentioning this place, like maybe it all has to come together for it. She goes to visit the grandmother. The grandmother talks about what I just did, then allows death to get her in front of the granddaughter, obviously traumatizing. And then daughter goes home, is like, oh my gosh, there's an order that people pass away that are in our family. And now we're going to start experiencing it. And then they start kind of experiencing it. And we should go on that journey. I mean, in a quick synopsis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was good.
Thanks. Any thoughts, Cade, on that?
Yeah. Well, first off, back up a bit. I think the phenomenon behind
Mhm.
the full movie series. We've, as I'm sure everybody has seen, even just people commenting on, you know, seeing logging trucks on the road, no one's like
Behind it
behind them,
being
like
like,
the marketing ads, like with that, because that is very kind of iconic
yeah,
scene from Final Destination 2 that we all kind of grow up with and kind of remember that specific kind of kill scene
yep,
in there. So definitely kind of cool that this film kind of plays kind of tribute to that and ties it back in, which I think they did a good job of kind of tying back to and kind of like encompassing the full series and making it make sense.
yeah, it was nice because they did little, like, winks towards other films, but it was on its own as a standalone film. If you had never seen anything from the Final Destination series, you could watch it and enjoy it, full
Yeah.
story, which was very cool as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So for both of those, yeah, absolutely, really good. Good acting, great kill scenes,
Yeah. Creative,
creative.
as always.
Yeah.
That series does a really great job of being interesting on how death would come to get you and
Mhm.
setting things up. And you can start to see when it's starting to happen, like, oh, I think they're in trouble. They're going to be in trouble. Something dangerous is going to happen. They do a nice suspenseful lead up so that you can
For sure.
wait for, it's not really a jump scare, but you're like, oh, there it is. Like, oh, I knew it was
There's
coming.
coming,
Yeah.
yeah, absolutely.
Hmm.
As well as I do have to admit that I did get a little nerdy and figure out how they created some of those scenes.
Like, what?
Like, well, I don't know if we want to spoil it
Okay, no
'cause
spoilers because you can actually go to theater and go see
yeah.
it. But
So very creative scenes, and they did some cool things to make those happen
mm,
with those actors and actresses. So
mhm.
yeah, I was very impressed. I was like, oh, someone thought about that and thought of that
How it
through.
would,
Yeah,
yeah, how it would happen, how to make it.
yeah. I was
Hmm.
very I nerded out a little bit on on the death scenes.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, we have been studying genre this entire season.
So
So,
yeah, this one kind of fits into that.
yeah, sure does. Yeah, I did
Yeah.
agree. We included it, which is awesome. Um, so the things obviously that we look for is like, did the story make sense? Yes. Was it interesting? Yes. Was it genre? Absolutely. Did they leave it open ended that there could be another one? Yeah.
Yeah.
We could see a few like pieces in room that it could potentially expand out. You attach to the characters. They do a great job placing comedy throughout it as well. Because I think anything that's suspenseful, you need relief. And so
Mm,
they made some of the things quite interesting
yeah.
and creative. There was parts of some of the death coming to get people scenes that they really went there and they allowed you to like experience things that there was death scenes that I hadn't seen before. Which as somebody who watches a lot of horror film, I was like, oh my gosh, they did that through here and they never do that because it's incredibly expensive to do that type of
Yeah.
mannequin and that's wow, like that's really great. And so a lot of good use of practical effects and VFX, just really, really awesome. And then a really creative, interesting ending, which we won't give away. Mhm.
Yeah. I was very entertained.
I was also entertained. I think that's probably where our rating came from. Yeah.
Yeah.
What was your rating on this one?
So I rated the film a 7.5. I
Same.
thought the storyline obviously made sense. You could watch it
Mhm.
without seeing any of the others, as well as I think that it gave enough
Tribute.
tribute to the other ones that, people that are following along still quite enjoyed it.
Mhm.
Um, and I'd say that's probably like the opinions I've gotten from other people that have watched it.
Mhm.
And I do have to admit, I did like that it left it open that there could potentially be another one, which is always kind of fun.
It is fun. It's fun when you see a series create success in an interesting way. And I feel like Saw did that as well. Just really,
Yeah.
it gave room for it to continue in a way that you still wanted to watch. And so it was a 7.5 for me as well. Incredibly entertaining, full story, great actor choices, interesting dialogue, good use of, like I said, like interesting kills, ways that. And yeah, definitely a film I would recommend. And so for those of you who are like to go to a theater and to cinema, not just wait for streaming, I think it's worth your while to like hit up the theater and to watch it.
Yeah,
Mhm.
couldn't agree more.
I'm Kit,
And I'm Cade.
and we will see you next time.
Bye, guys.